Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Visibility Factor podcast. This is Sue Barber, your host. I wanted to start off today's episode by thanking all of you for listening. I am so eternally grateful for all of the conversations I've had about the podcast and how people have shared what it has done for them and given them new ideas and helped them. Because thanks to all of you and everyone who has listened and supported this show, we are now in the top 5% of all podcasts, which is really exciting. And I'm so very thankful for all of you and all of the support that you've given the podcast. Thanks to all the guests who have come on, who have shared all of their wisdom and knowledge, and all of the support for the solo episodes as well. I love hearing how some of those have been very helpful to you. And I shared a lot of podcasts as resources for the workbook, which has been a really great opportunity for people to dive deeper into the different topics in the workbook and for me to share with coaching clients who can dive a little bit deeper into topics that we discuss. So thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please share the podcast with anyone you know who would benefit from some of your favorite episodes, the things that you've learned the most from. And I'd love to hear from you. Tell me which ones you've really valued the most. What have they taught you? What has been helpful to you? I'd love it if you leave a review. If you haven't done that already, you can only do that on your phone. If you go to Apple Podcasts, about halfway down on the Visibility Factor podcast page, you can see a place where you can leave a review and just share your favorite thing. What was your favorite thing that you learned? What is your favorite episode? What has really helped you the most? The more reviews that you get, the more people can find the podcast. And that just helps it continue to grow and get more exposure to the people who absolutely need it. So thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure that you know how much this means to me. And I am so eternally grateful to all of you. So today's episode, we're going to talk about a concept that's called show, not tell. And this is something that I originally learned when I was writing the book. And my developmental editor, AJ, would say to me all the time, Sue, you're telling them, but you need to show them. And I remember that concept was kind of confusing for me at first. Like, what do you mean show them? How am I going to show them in a book, right? You might think I'd take a picture. I would actually show something to them, and I wouldn't be able to do that in a book. So how can I do that? And what she helped me understand is that I needed to write about the experience that the person was having, the type of room that they're in, how they're feeling about things, what they're seeing, what they're thinking. All of that contributes to helping the reader who's reading about that situation understand what was happening, how it felt, and they can put themselves in that position. So now I want to translate that into what leaders need to think about when they are having conversations or presenting to leadership teams. So recently I had the opportunity to review a person's presentation for them before they went in to meet with their senior leaders. And she brought up some great things that she wanted to talk about that would be helpful for her leadership team to know. And it sounded like a list of things that they need to know, but it doesn't really resonate with them in a way that it could, meaning that there's an opportunity to take this to the next level. So let me explain what that means. In her situation, she was talking about some of the challenges that they were experiencing in her group, and she was talking about what she was doing to address that, which is great. We never want to have a challenge without a solution in place. But what she was missing was the part that she played in making that happen, that she saw a gap. She saw the opportunity. She took the initiative to get approval for more resources. That piece wasn't there. That wasn't helping her show them her value in this situation. And then the last part that I wanted her to think about was, why is this big for the company? What is the impact that having these new people in place or doing these new changes that you want to do, why is that important to the company? And so I asked her to start to think about where she might be able to show them that information in a different way so that they could really hear the message and understand that what she's doing is incredible and how that's making a difference for her team, but also for the company, how it's driving changes in the business. So once we started talking about what that looked like, she was really excited to make those changes because now she could see where she was missing opportunities to talk about her visibility, her influence, her initiative to do something different. So I want to share this formula with you so you can start to think about how you might be able to implement this for yourself. The first part of the formula is, what have you done or what are you going to do? Plus, how did that happen? What made you do that? Was it something you saw as a gap or an opportunity, or someone talked to you about it being a problem? What did you do? And then why does it matter? So if you can connect those three things together, that is how you show value and impact to people. And it takes a little bit of practice. It's not going to come naturally to you right away. Does it show the results that I've driven and created? Does it show where I played a role and made that happen? And does it finally show how it's going to impact the business and drive something of value to the company? That is how you show value and impact. So I want you to be very mindful of that. And when you're having a one on one with your manager, are you telling your manager what you've done or are you showing why it's valuable? Same thing with anybody that you might be meeting in the company who's an influencer that you want to make sure knows you, knows about your team and about your work. Take the time to have some examples that you can show how valuable you are. And the same thing with any presentations that you're doing, like I just went through. Presentations are opportunities for you to show something different to leaders that may not get to work with you all the time. At the beginning of this presentation, you have to help them understand why it's important for them to listen, right? They're very busy, they've got a lot of things on their plate, and they may get distracted easily. So set this up at the very beginning, just a few sentences that helps them know what you're going to go through, why it's important, and why they need to pay attention. And it might be like, I need to make sure that you're on board to communicate this more broadly with the rest of the organization. I need your support to make a final decision on how we go forward for the next phase. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're setting it up in a way that they can see that you're passionate about what you're talking about, that you're excited about it, and that you may need their help. And you want to make sure that they're paying attention to that. So all of those things help set the stage for you leading these conversations in the best way and helping them understand how you play a bigger role than maybe they've seen before, helping you show your leadership, your thought leadership, your decision-making skills, your influencing skills. These are opportunities that you don't want to miss out on. So take advantage of them. Be prepared and talk about things in a way that shows and doesn't just tell what you've done. Thanks so much for joining today on the Visibility Factor podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.